Black
This took
women.
a
Why she's
turn.
mad. That's why she's mad.
Pressing black. Now I'm oppressing black women.
Okay, group therapy.
Oh,
Do you
my
want to
God.
talk about it? Do you want to talk about it, Stephanie? How you feeling?
No,
This
I
took a
don't.
turn.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I just don't like people like you.
Yeah,
Oh,
fuck
that sucks. I get off on people who don't like me, so I find that shit funny as fuck.
So wait, so Stephanie, I have a question. Are you
People like you.
I have a genuine question. And mother to mother.
Uh-huh.
How and I'm not bashing. I really just want to know. How are you raising your kids? Are you raising your kids not to see color?
She raising them to be
My
white.
kids have never. My kids have. There is no color. Like there's no color. You judge a person off of how they act and the things that they say and do. Like
So you know your
There's
kid's
no
gonna put
color.
you in a 1-star old folks home, right? Because of the way you
Yeah,
act.
first chance
the
they
way
get.
I act. Right?
Like you gonna
I
be
ju-
like
I
you
judge
gonna be
character.
in
I
that
don't
you gonna be in that old folks home where they beat
I
on their
judge
patients.
character.
Yeah, your character is you getting beat on in the old folks home.
I don't. You know.
I ain't gonna
I'm
lie.
not a racist.
Bitch, yes you are.
But your character is trash though. So.
The Nile is a river in Egypt.
My character is not trash.
Your husband
Mind you.
is
Okay,
gay.
Not at all.
Mind you, this is 78 people live. You can't take back what you said. So
Mm.
What did I-
Plus
what did I
it's
say?
recorded.
if you can't remember what you said, that's fine. There's almost 80 people in here who remember what the
We
fuck
will
you
remember for you.
That I said.
said. If you can't remember,
Right.
don't trip.
My baby
we know
daddy
you got
black,
we know
he
you got a
had
shot
Wi-Fi.
memory. Paige, I don't
So
give a
does your
fuck.
baby daddy not have Wi-Fi?
Stephanie, your son look
The
like
hell, no, the motherfucker in jail. He ain't in
She clowned us about Wi-Fi, and her baby daddy probably don't pay the Wi-Fi bill no more.
He can't.
Mm.
he's locked up. Won't let him out.
Oh my gosh.
I gotta. I work with a lot.
And she
of
was talking about
successful black
Wi-Fi. You'll
women.
see them bars on her page.
Y'all was
Yeah, I saw that.
Me too. Me too.
I'm a bitch.
And guess what? They sure don't act like y'all. They do not act like y'all.
who is y'all?
Who is they?
Oh yeah, who's
Who are
that?
you referring
Are
to?
they racist to
all
their
y'all
own
in here-
culture? Just a question.
Yeah, they ain't got no culture in them. They raised by your white ass.
To them people in the comments who saying I'm ghetto or I'm annoying as fuck, please keep commenting. You getting the views up, so I don't really care.
Thank
Wait,
you.
was she
Thank you for
I
being a
don't think
fan.
She was talking about her kids. I think she was talking about the ladies that she worked, the successful black people that she works with.
Yes.
They don't act like us.
Stephanie, your
They don't,
money.
they don't sit up and, you know, they don't sit up and act like.
Who is D Money?
Where'd he go?
He just got flagged on the live. I just come down real quick.
How the fuck I get in
I'm
this?
sorry, Stephanie. Go ahead. What were
I
you
don't know.
saying? How they don't act like us? They don't do what now?
my best food, extra cheese and broccoli.
You know, like we don't have conversations like this. They don't judge a person. I mean, but that's just.
You're alive. You're saying
That's
we, but here
character.
you are.
Just wait till your kid gets
Hey,
big.
Mama Bear.
So you
feel what?
alone just have these type of conversations?
I just have one question.
Mama Bear, are you there?
Yes.
Y'all still picking on poor
Okay.
Stephanie over there?
I just have one question and then I can
He
leave.
ain't picking on me. I ain't worried about
I'm
it.
just trying to figure out, Stephanie, if your
What?
kids are mixed, how do
Yes.
you foresee yourself comforting your kids when they are not going to be accepted into certain cultures?
Like,
And I'm only asking you this because I came in like I'm part of the argument, and I guess the argument was about people being uneducated or something. So the only reason I'm asking because my son, he's not mixed with white. He's Puerto Rican, but he was very, very light skinned. He looks very fair skinned. I do have 2 degrees. I'm working on my next degree, my master's degree. And a lot
Good
of
for you.
have asked me, how do I feel like I'm going to comfort my son when he doesn't get picked? Because recently I'm starting to get overlooked for jobs, and because I live in the country, so a lot of people have overlooked me because of the color of my skin. So I'm trying to figure out, as a mom, as a mixed child, how are you going to comfort your son or your daughter when they come home
Aurora,
and they
Nate.
let you know that I've been working
Wanna go outside?
X, Y, and Z, and they're not picking me because my skin is darker? How are you going to comfort your son when he doesn't get accepted by everybody that doesn't look like him? Like, what are you going to say?
it's happened. My kids
That's
are
all she
16
got?
and 14. I mean, it's happened. It's already happened, and
Did you like it? You did not like it. You did not like the feeling. You did not like the feeling
No,
of how somebody
absolutely
made
not. No.
your child feel because of the color of their skin, because they didn't ask to be born into an interracial parent.
Right.
So for you to get on a panel and try
And
to
it comes
single
on
out
both
certain
sides.
people- yeah, but you came off aggressive with your question. So that's probably why nobody was receiving it. And then number two, when you came up here, you could have stated anything you wanted to state it, but at the end of the day, you didn't like how somebody made your child feel, but you came on this panel and tried to attack everybody because they didn't act like the typical person or how you interacted. So I'm just trying to figure out, how are you going to be a difference? Because you could have came up here and you could have made those questions very clear without being aggressive. Because I could say, oh, well, I've never met a white person that comes off so aggressive. Well, usually they're, passive aggressive or nonchalant, or they're very quiet. You came up here loud and boisterous about something that really didn't even make sense. So how are you any different from the people that you were upset with when they chastised your child or made your child feel less than because of the color of their skin? And mind you, I have degrees, so I'm not arguing about who doesn't. I have degrees, so I really would like to know.
I think a lot of us up here have our degrees, and
Now let her speak because she's being
Ray is working on his degree.
I'm 2 years in, you know what I'm saying?
What is the question again?
Damn.
You want to know how
She
I
definitely
comfort my children when they have
When they face the same
received,
racial
like,
issues that you're
racism
that you're
and-
giving
yes,
us.
from both sides.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. That was the question. Yep.
Thanks, Stephanie. You kind of
The same, like, how do I comfort them? How do I comfort you?
Damn, that's sad.
And not you asking the child. Look,
That's crazy.
Right. Like, how do I comfort? Like, what do? Educate? Like, I just talk to them and tell them. Like, and she's listening here right now, and she's listening to y'all as well.
Your dot. Oh,
So she's
But
hearing you
my point exactly.
racist stuff?
The simple fact is that you had y'all.
And
it
she's
seems
hearing
like-
you guys as well.
It looks like that you're taking the question and you're trying to dissect it to make it make sense, and I get it. I'm not sitting here
She
trying
knows
to.
and sees.
I'm not trying to make this a
And
big.
it's situations like this where
I
Where
did
what?
not come. I'm like I said, I didn't come up here to attack you. All I asked was a question because the simple fact is,
what do you do about it?
If
Like-
someone came to me and asked my son or said anything about his life experience, about what he couldn't afford or what he cannot afford, and assume because the color of his skin, I will be highly upset because the simple fact is I do work hard. I do work hard, and it's sad to say because I'm never glorifying. I do have a baby daddy, but my son, he is not fed on welfare milk. I don't qualify for free food stamps. He has a room. My daughter has a room. I have 2 cars and I have my own business. I don't ever want nobody to knock me for the color of my skin. So I'm trying to figure out how can you get up here and ask these questions.
I talk to them. And I tell them
You
there are
talk to
still
them. So exactly,
there's still
you talk to them.
racism. I talk to them.
Exactly.
But
So
mine
the
is
situation
mama
is,
bear.
Should be
so if you
addressed.
got on
Something
this
going on
panel,
at school or
so if you
whatnot.
got on this panel
We
and you
address
wanted
that.
to, exactly, if you got on this panel and you wanted some more insight on anything of a different culture, all you had to do was ask and ask appropriately. But instead, you made a lot of aggressive statements. And now you trying to sit here and breaking all this stuff down. It's too much when it shouldn't gone this far.
And
Over
also,
Wi-Fi.
can we also note that you also, mind you, your daughter is biracial. You sat here and you called Nebula all types of black B words.
Yeah, and she was, but it was
your daughter was
for her to
sitting
call
right
me a white
there.
bitch.
Yeah, so
You
but
said
my
the N-word.
It's okay for me
But-
to for her, and you know what my child said? But it's okay for them to call you a cracker, mom. But it's okay for them to call you a white bitch.
no one calls you a cracker.
nobody called you that.
I'm not saying name calling is appropriate. I'm not saying name calling is appropriate. What I
Yes,
did
you
was
did. My child said it.
I
She's
addressed
heard
you as a
both
person.
sides.
I address you as a person, but the thing about it is, I want to tell you something, Stephanie. It does not, I don't care where I'm at. I don't care where I'm at. I have done it plenty of times. There's people that have disrespected me in front of my child or even in front of my mother. It's the simple fact that I got dignity enough to not respond in a negative way. So anybody called you out your name or made you feel less than, you should have stood your ground as a woman, not a white woman, as a woman and said, excuse me, that's not my name, and redirected her. But instead, you showed exactly what you wanted to show up here, your white ass, and came up here and responded back to her.
Amen.
That's the problem.
See, here we
That's
go with the white
problem.
again. Why do I have
That's
to?
the
Why do I have to be a white ass?
Because you wanted to put color. Because you wanted to put color.
You don't
want to
be a black ass.
Color in it.
If you don't want to be a black ass or a black bitch, then why do I have to be a white bitch or a white ass?
If someone call me a black bitch, I'm not gonna be offended. You know why I'm not gonna be offended? Because it's a fucking word. That don't bother me. That does not bother me. You know how many times I've been on this world too fucking long for someone to sit there and call me a black bitch, a nigga, and tell me everything else in the book and sit there and cry, whoa, for what? To let y'all get power over some words when I know for a fact I'm gonna spit some shit out that you ain't never heard of? That's crazy.
Come on.
That made me look stupid, like I didn't even go to school. What the fuck I look like picking up a book and still acting like I don't got sense?
Come on now.
That's crazy work. That's crazy work. I would never let my child sit there and let me come out my face and disrespect another human being, because at the end of the day, he still got to go out and he a representative of me. I would never want my freaking son or my daughter to go out here and open up their mouth like their mom didn't teach them no sense. And mind you, the simple fact is my whole family is black and educated, and I promise you right now, if my mom heard me cuss, her exact words would be, "You don't got no education, you lack vocabulary, you don't know no other words for that."
The same education she claimed that we ain't got. Child.
Amen.
Girl, all I'm
And the
saying
same
is,
ones
if
that
you
were
have
sitting up here
respect for
calling me all
yourself,
kinds
if you
of
have
white
respect
bitches
for
and everything
yourself and
else.
your kids, if anybody called you out your name, you have every right to stand your ground, but do it in the fucking way that they won't ever do it again. But if you give into the stupidness is what you gonna get back. If someone called you out your name, you could politely redirect them. That was simple as that. But instead, you decided to get louder. You decided to sit there and be all voiceless for what? She decided to show her. If that was the case, she decided to be cursing. What? Why you got to do it?
Nebula and Ari, I'm a white girl. Call me the names.
I would never, because you have respect. Unlike some people.
No, call me the names.
That's not my
I don't
character.
care.
That's really not my character.
It's
Absolutely
It's not deep.
ridiculous.
Call me a
That's
cracker.
really not my character, but Stephanie deserved it, so that's why I went off.
Ridiculous.
Like,
Call me names. Call me names.
I said Caucasian Crusaders, but that's it.
Hey, Stephanie, turn your camera on.
I'm gonna do that.
turn it on. Turn it
Cause
on.
I wholeheartedly, that's why, Mama Bear, I'm so happy you came up here, because that's exactly why I asked her that question, mother to mother. How are you raising your kids? Because I was dying to know.
Thank you, Raven. She
I raised
decided
my
to show her
kids to know that there's
racism.
racism all across the board.
You told your kid, you told us that you raised your kids not to see color. That's what you told us.
They don't see color. My kids judge off of character.
But they hear their mama being racist, so what you think they gonna do?
You guys are being racist.
You have every right. You ate that shit. You deserve it.
First off, nobody ever called you a cracker.
There's
I
racism
did say
all
white
across
bitch.
the
I did say
board,
that.
all across the board.
And I didn't say anything.
I'm sorry.
Stephanie, I don't know how
was
old
quiet.
you are, but my thing is, whatever the problem, the issue is, you got time to change it or redirect it. If you didn't like certain what's getting taught into the world of how you feel around your kids, you can change it. But if this is how you respond naturally, I'm sorry to say this, your kids are going to pick it up.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my opinion. Like I said, I am an educator. I specialize in behavioral health and mental health, and I'm an RBT. I'm just letting you know right now, whatever you sit there and you show your kids is going to be taught. And I know you don't want your kids going out here showing that they don't have any education. I just want you to know that for a fact, that you might want to change your vocabulary when you directing stuff in front of your kids. Point blank, period.
Change my vocabulary as far as what?
Well, for one, you said
Change
the
your
N-word,
vocabulary
you said
as
the
in
N-word
what you just,
multiple times.
all the words.
I said the N-word?
You
I
did.
don't.
You said
I
it.
wasn't,
that's
I
a
wasn't
lie.
Here.
That's a
I wasn't
lie.
here-
That's a
I was
flat out
not
lie.
here. I was not here if you said the N-word.
Right.
I
You said it
never,
like 3
never,
times. What
ever,
you mean?
never, ever.
Even if she didn't say it and nobody
I
can
personally
remember?
didn't hear her say the N-word.
I didn't hear her say it.
I did not hear you say the N-word.
Listen, I didn't hear her say it, but she said
it.
enough bullshit for her kids to pick on and go be racist to
Exactly.
somebody
And the
else.
thing
You
about
got your
it is-
children
Oh, for sure.
What I'm
right
saying
beside
is
you,
your
listening
vocabulary
to
and your
you.
delivery. I wasn't here when you said the N-word, but I have been on this panel and I've been in the video watching, and you every time you was upset that you didn't agree with something, that you got louder. So I can tell you right now, if you have a daughter, your daughter is probably going to pick up when she doesn't feel like she's getting her way or not being heard. Guess what she's going to do? She's going to elevate her voice, thinking that she's making a point when in reality she's not. Just because you're the loudest in the room don't mean you're the most accurate. Just because you feel like, oh, I got to say something, I got to respond, don't mean you're the most accurate in the room. You could probably be the most stupidest. You could be the most uneducated. So all I'm saying is be prepared for some stuff to come back to you that you didn't know that you was pouring into your kids because you wasn't being aware of your situation or your surroundings at the moment. I understand that you're angry. I understand you feel like you're attacked, but there's a certain way that you need to do it so that everybody can get heard and that your kids won't pick up that extra energy that you got this morning.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Thank you.
Like I said, I'm a little older. That's why I said what I said, and I'm gonna drop out. Y'all can continue y'all discussion.
Thank you, Mama Bear. We love you.
Mama Bear.
Thank you.
That was some real shit.
Prosperous Black Queen.
You're so pretty. She's so pretty.
Where the fuck did them caps come from, though?
What you want to do?
Hello, everybody.
Hey, Wayne.
Wayne, how are you?
I'm going to piggyback on something that was just said. And Stephanie, I'm not doing this out of any spite at all, okay? But I raised every single niece I've had. Every single niece from my sister's side to my brother's side, I've raised them from a baby all the way up. I have a 17-year-old niece. I have an 18-year-old niece. They all mix. Now, my nieces were at the young age. They came to me, and they like to trick me up on questions, and they like to tell me. One day, they came to me, and they were 6 and 7 years old doing this. And they came to me, and they asked me, said, Uncle Wayne, we got a question for you. So before we ask you this, we want to let you know it's a mother, it's a father, it's a brother, it's a sister, it's a cousin, it's friends, it's everything. And I go, okay, so I get it, it's everybody. So here's what they asked me. And at that age, you can ask questions, Stephanie. These kids know it. They already know it. They don't need to be taught it. They know it. My nieces asked me, why do people teach us how to hate one another? Why do they teach us that all colors matter, our skin color matters? Why do they do this? And I was like, ladies, if you guys can ask the question, you already know the answer. Who's doing it? And the answer to your question about do you have to say something? My nieces know to have respect for themselves. My nieces know that if the shit really hits the fan, they know that their uncle will be there. They know their uncle will step in and deal with the situation. But they are not going to go and justify some fool, some racist ass idiot, and let them just. Woods are woods at the end of the day. It ain't going to change how smart and how brilliant and how educated my nieces are ever going to be. My youngest niece is starting the nursing field. So is she going to let some white person or some fool put her down just because she's black and let them stereotype her? No, she's above that. She's higher than that.
No,
And-
she may run across a black person
She has run across-
that might. She
she's
may
also ran across her in the
experience
work
that as
field.
well,
And she has run across
or an
it. You know what she
Asian
did?
person, or anybody. Like,
You know what she did,
I
though?
just don't understand why. Like,
This
when
is
is it
what
ever
she
going to
did,
come
though.
a time where we can all just move beyond things
And
and
you know how
stop
she
hating
moved
people
upon-
because of the color of their skin?
But you know how she
You
moved
can't
upon
do
it?
this because of the color of your skin. You can't do that. You know, this, that, and the, like, when is it ever going to stop?
Don't
You know
interrupt
how
me. This is your
but
coaching.
You know how she moved upon it? She moved upon it by saying, hey, you're entitled to whatever you want to think because I can never change your opinion or what you want to say or think. But I am better than that. I've been taught I'm better than that. I've been educated that I'm better than that. Just because of
Well,
my
honestly,
skin is black.
I've been
doesn't
seeing it
mean
on
that I have
TikTok.
to listen to
That's
that
all I
nonsense.
see is from the black community is it's constant. Like, I have never ran across my For You page where it's been a white group where it's like, I forget what the title of this was, a safe place for pale people. I'm not like, just when is it ever going to stop? When can we all just move on, judge a person off of their character?
Because it's never going to stop. We live in a sinful.
And it comes from
It is
everybody.
Lucifer's
Everybody.
playground.
It's not
It
just
is
white
not-
people. It's not just black people. It's everybody.
But, you know, racism's been around since time's been around. It doesn't mean that we have to stand for it and keep it going. It takes love. It takes compassion
just
for
feel
one
like
another.
Things like
If we don't have that,
all the
what do
stuff
we
you
got?
see on the For You page. Dear white women. Dear white women.
They do, dear black women. What?
She's mad because it's not her.
Yes. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Because that is not me.
Wayne, please continue. We apologize for interrupting.
That's okay. But all I'm saying is that we are going to have, there's going to be racist people in this country. There's always going to be. It's always has been. But that doesn't change who you are. That doesn't change who you can become. Do you listen to that
Right.
nonsense? If an idiot told you to jump off a bridge, would you do it? I'll give you another great example. I voted for Trump, but if Trump told me to go drink bleach, I'm not going to go drink bleach just because somebody tells me to do it. That's just stupid. You have a brain, but we teach our kids to be smart. We teach our kids to think for themselves and have respect for themselves. At the end of the day, you don't listen to nonsense. You don't listen to words. It's just words. Now, if they put their hands on you, if they try to
You're
physically
right. You're
hurt
right.
you, that's a different
Wayne,
story.
you're right. And you know what? I probably should have just kept on scrolling because this is nonsense.
No, what's nonsense is to act like that you can't rise above that crap. Rise above it.
What am I not rising above? You're right. I should have rose above it and kept on scrolling.
The fact of it is that
Because this just these lives like this just to continue to me.
She gets picked on no matter
Separate.
what. She'll
To
get picked on.
separate.
And my other niece said, well, who's going to have it worse, or Maya or me? Because I'm black and Maya's mixed. Who's going to have it more worse? I was like, you're going to have it more worse than Maya, because the color is a target for idiots. The color is a target for racists out there. And what to change? And she goes, how do we change it? It's like, sweetie, the way we can change it is that when we acknowledge that those stupid idiots do not have a voice, they don't matter. What matters is what's in your heart, what's in your soul, and how you achieve things in this planet, how you go out and make a difference to change society. The words can never stop you from achieving what you want to achieve. Yes, a white person can probably stop you from doing it, but are you going to let that person do it, or are you going to achieve higher above that?
And a black person could stop him just as well.
You know what it would take, honestly? You want the truth, what it would take to stop all the crap? For every single one of us, and I mean every single one of us on this planet, to unite together, to actually love one another.
Which is
cherish
what
one
we
another,
should do.
respect one another.
Which is what we should do. Let bygones be bygones and people just come together.
Okay, but you don't seem to understand. You know how bad
I'm
it
not
is
saying
when
we
you
have
got
to forget things
Okay, when
that
you
were
got
done.
racial profiling,
But-
you know how bad that is? I'm white. I've never been racial stopped in a traffic stop because I got a color of a skin. But I did have my brother stop when he was in my vehicle with me, and they wanted him to step out, and I told him, no, you stop me. I'm the
Well,
driver.
ride through the hood.
Leave my
Ride
brother
through the hood
alone.
and be white. Because they're probably going to racially profile you and think that you're there to buy drugs.
And you know what? Let them think what they want to think. Because at the end of the day,
That's racial
I'm not gonna
profiling
let
as well.
them- I'm not going to let them harm my brother, or I'm not going to let their stupidity change who I am or change who my family is at the end of the day. Because then what happens at that point? I'm just joining the stupid fools that are going to do something to me and do it to my brother. I had a brother taken out because of law enforcement. And I know what it feels like. I know what that feels like. And we cannot act like it doesn't exist in this country. We cannot act like things that don't happen. But at the end of the day, does that change us? It can change us. I'm not going to say it does. It does change us. It changes us on how we look and how we look at certain situations. But if we start showing love and compassion for one another, at the end of the day, everybody on this panel right now, everybody in the chat right now, you are my brothers and sisters. We are all created by one person. That is the Jesus Christ and our Lord and Savior.
Amen.
Amen.
And we can't get anything from that. If you can't achieve anything higher than that, and just keep stereotyping yourself as a white, as a Mexican, as a black, as a Jew, as a Korean, as a Russian, instead of coming together as brothers and sisters for the best cause of all, and that is true love.
Oh. Thank you, Wayne.
That was
Thank
a nice
you.
ending to that shit. That ending was perfect.
What?
I will say, like, Stephanie, I think, like, one of the biggest mistakes you made, like, you know, you kind of agree with Wayne that, like, everybody should be loving one another. But, like, when you first came in, you didn't come in like Cheeto. You didn't come in
Because
like...
I didn't feel love. Because I didn't feel...
Why?
But how do you not feel love when, like...
That's the answer we were looking for. She didn't feel love because she didn't think this was a space for her. So she came in here disrespectful and angry. Poor D. But that's the answer. You didn't feel love, so you came in here being hard and disrespectful, and you got put in your place. So Wayne was spitting facts, and you was trying to talk over him. That's not how we do it here. So you was dead wrong.
Yeah, there was nothing but hate and racism to me when I came
That's in your eyes. We were literally having an open discussion about our experiences, and you got hateful. So that's on you.
That's facts.
Thank you, D. Because I saw this
And that
channel
ain't
and
gonna
didn't
help
think
change-
to myself, just because
That
I'm
ain't
brown.
gonna
I
help
saw
change
this
that. You know what
channel.
that's gonna do? That's gonna take us all the way back to 100 years
in
ago.
your eyes.
Take us all the way back. We've been there.
We have been there. You don't
gonna continue to
understand
divide
because
us?
you're not us.
All right.
You know what the most thing is dividing us now as people? And it isn't about color. What's dividing us now is our political opinions, whether you're a Democrat or a Republican, whether you voted.
Yeah, no, see
That is
that-
what's dividing us. Instead of us being Americans and electing somebody that we want to elect. Doesn't matter who you
Is that
vote
not
for.
racism?
I mean,
Is that not racism?
I mean,
You-
don't.
We have the liberals against the
You don't want to.
conservatives.
You don't want to
You're
get on.
conservative. I don't like you. That's racism.
Stephanie, you don't want to get on that platform with me because I'll spit facts out that the Democratic Party has always been a racist party, always will be a racist party. They're the ones that kept a war going to keep slavery around. Don't act like that party has changed because it has.
I didn't say anything. I did not say anything about the Democratic Party.
I'm just
What I
saying
said
that-
was
let's keep the facts
now
to the
we're
facts
going
off.
through a form of racism when it comes to political views.
Yeah, and let's just keep the facts where the facts lay. The facts lay that if you have a child, do you want a male in a child support doing unthinkable things? No, you do not. You don't want a person reading to your child because that is your job to read to your child, explain things to your child. Why are we got this idea that parents can't be teaching their kids what they need to teach? No one's going to teach my nieces or my children's nonsense. I'm going to teach them. And you teach your kids how to respect one another. You teach your kids how to show love and compassion. When somebody shows you who they are and the character of who they are, they make their own decisions whether they want to hang out with that person or have any respect for that person.
Yeah.
Amen, Wayne.
Sorry, I had a phone call just now.
Man, you.
Yes, that's how that is. Ideally, that's how it will work. Instead of just automatically, not like
At the end of the day, it matters on how we interact with one another. It's what we do, what we say. Our character is who we are. If you go back to when you made before we actually we took a handshake. That was your bond. That was your word. It meant something that you stood up and you did what you said you were going to do. You people respected that. When I look at somebody and this is the issue that I come across, and people say, "Why are you not afraid to go in certain areas?" I was raised in Inglewood in Chicago, Illinois. Okay, I got out of there for a lot of reasons. Okay, I got out of there because I did not want to see any more young brothers being unalive. I did not want to see the nonsense of the stuff coming in there destroying a neighborhood, and I didn't want to see all the nonsense of different colors getting into it and the gangs getting into it over turfs and everything. I got tired of that. I got fed up with it. I didn't want to have my nieces go through some of the stuff my brothers went through and I went through being in that area. So at the end of the day, we make choices. We make choices for our family. And there's not a single one of us, even you, Stephanie, that would not lay our life down for our kids, that would not put ourselves in harm's way to protect our child. So does that mean that we give up because some fool decides that he's going to call us out and disrespect us? That's what the gangs do. We are better than them. We are better and mature, and we have an education. We have to use that education and teach our kids to achieve a higher standard. And you want to know how to stop the stuff that happens in our country, honestly? If we all unite together and we put a stop to certain things, if we unite as a society and not as individuals, we can make change. It's we the people, not we the government. It's we the people. Why not we can ever realize that and unite as one for the cause?
I think it's something that we mentioned earlier, like with Cheeto and with Meatball. Like, I think part of it has to be with like each group has to kind of be willing to understand and learn the other group and learn their experiences and stuff like that. I think when you come into it closed minded, you're not even gonna get to that point.
Right. 100%.
And like the point he was making, and people in the comments agreeing, you didn't feel that love, but to come in here being disrespectful and loud like that, you gonna get put in your place no matter where you go. You come to us with respect, we gonna give you respect. As simple as that.
Facts. I was thinking the same thing because, like, the thing is, man, like my little town I grew up in, I'm from North Carolina, and my little town I grew up in, like in 2000, when I was like 12.